Hi, this is Joe Avati, and you're watching the Growing Up Italian podcast. Aren't they opening up a Hermes store?
In Manhattan or in Brooklyn?
Yeah,
I'm sure. I mean, they're opening everything in Brooklyn.
Is it a place in Bedford Street or something? Or
Bedford Avenue.
Bedford Avenue.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we have everything here.
Yeah.
We got the Apple Store, cuz. We got Joe's Pizza.
Yeah. And you got the Growing Up Italian podcast.
We got Growing Up Italian.
Don't sleep on that one.
But how was it to really get here? Did you fly straight to New York?
Nah, so I've been on tour already. So I flew to Vancouver, did a couple of shows there. Then I flew down to LA, did that. Then I've been zigzagging across America. So then I went from LA back into Canada, into Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, and then back here. And then tomorrow's Boston, and it's Pittsburgh, Chicago, and then Montreal, all in 4 days.
What time zone is your head at right now?
Oh, no, it's where I am now. You know, the trick is you got to set your watch to where you're going. That's the
mentality you need to have.
Yeah, that's right.
And how many days in advance do you need? So if you're going to New York on Monday and it's Tuesday, like 6 days away, how far in advance do you like set your watch?
Oh no, well it depends. No, so it depends on where I am. Like if I'm coming from Australia to North America, as soon as I get on the plane, I'll put the watch at the American time.
That's old school way.
Yeah, that's the best way to
Like,
deal with it.
Show us the watch over there. You got the how you doing?
Hey.
That tour stream you will, huh?
Yeah. Well, it is a world tour.
It's a world tour.
Is that a world tour or your girls tour?
Shout out Drake.
I've had world tours. I've had girls tours.
Yeah. Sometimes the world tour is the girls tour.
Yeah, man. You know? Hope my wife's not watching this.
Yeah. We're just joking.
Hey, baby, you know, she knows.
Last time you're here, you travel with your wife and your little
So
mans.
they come. So they're coming because June is just way too full. It's 15 major cities in 1 month. It's too much to take a 2.5-year-old around. You know what I mean? So they're meeting me in Toronto in July, and then we come back here for the shows, and then we go to Europe a little bit of a break, and then we do all of England and Ireland and Belgium.
So when you're doing these shows, you're traveling alone.
Yeah.
Does that drive you nuts?
No, it's fantastic, mate.
Yeah?
I love it.
What's it like traveling alone?
Well, there's just so much to do. You know, like, especially when you're going to new towns. Well, look, there's a lot of promotion that you're doing, so that takes up time. You've got to deal with, all the work, all the emails and all that, and the writing, and trying to think of new stuff for that particular town as well. And so that takes. I don't mind it. You know, there's so much to do. Listening to podcasts, watching movies. I've got no problem being alone, but some people do.
I gotta ask you. Sorry, B. First class or economy?
He's a first class guy.
It depends.
Look at that watch. How you doing?
People, I'm not paying
You don't like sitting with the civilians?
It depends, mate. So look, like if I do Sydney, Melbourne a lot, I don't go business or anything like that because I don't need to, mate. I'm sometimes.
How much time is Sydney, Melbourne?
1 hour.
Okay.
Right. So 1 year I did it 139 times on the 737. Right.
139?
Yeah. Between
back and forth.
Back and forth.
That's
back and
one.
Forth. No.
Like round trip.
No, not one. No, single trips.
Oh, so 1, 2.
Yeah, so 100. Call it 140. So 70 round trips between Sydney. So Sydney Melbourne is the 4th busiest flight route in the world.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's
why is that?
It's 4 carriers going from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every half an hour. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just there's a lot of people going in there, right? But no,
I think respectfully speaking, Australia is so damn far from everything that you guys got to travel in Australia.
Yeah. If I had $1 for every person who said, I'd love to come to Australia, but I'm not sitting in that plane, I wouldn't need to tour.
Yeah.
But
it's true.
Yeah. Nobody wants to sit in the plane for that long. That's what scares people. Well, you went to Australia, right?
Yeah.
For his honeymoon.
Yeah, but
I would say it's a one and done for me.
Yeah, right.
Maybe 20 years, but
yeah, wow.
Everybody has to experience it.
We've got no choice. Anywhere we want to go is minimum 8 hours. So if I want to go to Bangkok or to Asia, it's 8 hours. You know, that's just the way it is. But in 2025, they got at Qantas is releasing a flight that goes Sydney, New York, direct. 19 hours.
That's like a steal.
And for me, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Because it's such a pain in the ass to get off in LA. Then you got to go through the customs in LA, get your bags, go to the other terminal, get it. Man, it's a pain in the ass. When you're traveling a lot, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah. But business. Yes.
What advice would you give somebody that's doing New York to Australia? Not the what you're doing now, like the 24 hours, but like how do you handle being on the airplane that long?
So what you want to do is you fly to LA during the day or in the afternoon, and then make sure that the flight that you get from LA to Australia is a night flight. So that for you it's nighttime, because then you will naturally fall asleep at the time, and it will take up the longest part. So when I came to Vancouver, I left at 8:30 at night from Sydney, and by 3 hours into the flight, I went to sleep like I normally do, and I woke up 10 hours later.
So you slept without any drugs or anything?
Nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
I give him credit.
I wouldn't want to take any drugs.
I'm a weaker man. I mean, if I do that flight, I have to take some Xanax.
Yeah, well, some people
maybe
do.
2 bars.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, like horse tranquilizer. I'm not gonna lie. So we just went to Milan, and
So how long is it to Milan?
9 hours.
9 hours.
Right?
Okay.
8-9 hours.
Right.
I think one way's 8, another way's 9. But the first time we went, we were sitting. I had to sit in the window seat.
Yeah.
Traveling, got to sit in the window seat. I don't get up to go to the bathroom a lot. I'm not annoying.
Yeah.
I get in my window seat and I post up against the window.
Yeah.
So I took a half a Xanax.
Yeah.
Woke up in Milan.
Yeah. Mate.
When we were going, he's like, "You're really gonna take like, what are you? Are you crazy? Are you a drug addict?" I'm like, "No, I just."
Some people do.
Just for flights.
So to give you an idea, right? This is how long. If I want to go to Calabria, where my parents are from. Okay, this is how long. It takes 2 hours to check in, right, to the airport. So there's 2 hours. 8 hours to Bangkok. There's 10 hours. Another 2 hour layover in Bangkok. There's 12 hours. The flight from Bangkok to Rome is 12 hours. So that's 24 hours. Then I go to Rome. Then I got to stay in the airport and go and firstly you got to go through the queues. Well, there's no queues in Italy. It's a funnel of people, right, trying to get through everything. Then I fly all the way down to Lamezia in Calabria. Whoever from the village has got to come and pick me up.
Yeah.
Then I got to drive.
Ucumbari got to come to
Now, that drive from Lamezia down to Reggio Calabria can sometimes be an hour, 3 hours, 7 hours, depending on the roadworks that have been going on for the last 37 years, okay?
They're super fast there with the roadworks.
You know, like, why isn't the road finished? No money. The money always runs out in Italy. I don't know where it goes.
It's all to the espresso.
So this is 30-hour one-way trip just to get there.
I'm not doing it, man.
Yeah.
30 hours.
For our towns, it's here to Rome.
Yeah.
4-hour drive.
Yeah, right.
It's like 14 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah. I love where you guys come from.
Just to criticize us, like, I thought these old.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he's still podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm good. I'd rather go like somewhere where people don't know me, pretty much. You know.
Yeah. But do the people recognize you in Italy or not?
So now, I've been getting, especially in Milan.
Yeah, right.
Because being friends with all these rappers and stuff like that. In Milan is where all the stuff gets done.
Yeah. Is rap funnier in Italian? Is it funnier to you because it sounds like because you're used to like hip hop or rap here?
Yeah. I mean, I actually really like it.
Yeah.
And I use it as a tool for learn more Italian.
Yeah.
And also to learn new lingo.
Yeah.
You know.
So I got to ask you this. So a couple of my clips have gone viral in Italy for the first time in the last year. Uh-huh. Okay. Now, in my whole 27-year career, I've never been abused as much as I have from people in Italy.
Yes.
About my stuff.
Welcome to our world.
Mate, one guy said, he said, if I ever see you, I'm going to hang you on a cross outside the Vatican. I said, bro, all I said was your post office was shit. Calm down.
And it's kind of true.
The Italians, anything that's true to them,
they can't deal with it. They're really like some of them are like
we call them gatekeepers.
Yeah, right.
What I know the comments coming is when the first line is, "I am Italian."
Yeah, right.
Like, or I live in Italy. Like,
Yeah.
those are usually the two
Yeah.
first big.
I love how they write in Italian, and you got to do C translation.
Yeah.
You know, let me see what abuse I've copped, and then, but the abuse in English is funnier than it is in Italian.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You know, tu sei, mate. You know, they call me American.
They call you American?
Yeah, ma tu sei americano. Che sai? Tu sei americano. Hang on a minute, I'm Australian, mate. You know, questi sono stereotipi. Che fai? Well, mate, there's a reason why there's a stereotype. Because a stereotype is a characteristic repeated over and over and over that everyone realizes that's what we do, mate. Big deal. So what? Stereotype, you know? What are the top 3 stereotypical things about Italians? Number 1, we love cash. Number 2, more than cash, we love concrete. And number 3, everyone knew an uncle who pretended to have a bad back and went on compensation. That was
That's pretty accurate.
That's pretty much
I was waiting for the we talk loud.
I talk loud, yeah, okay, yeah.
Mafia, but that's also has to do cash.
Yeah, you know. But that's big deal. And people need to get over it. And their post office is shit.
It's horrible.
They will tell you. They will even say to them. Then they start fighting themselves on the, you know, the people in Italy. Or they'll say, no, this must only happen in Calabria. Yeah. No, mate, no.
I have some questions about Australians, if it's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Do you guys really eat kangaroo?
No. Look, you can eat kangaroo.
We went somewhere recently and they had like kangaroo meat on
I don't like
the
it.
menu. I was like...
The only reason why kangaroo meat's really good is because it's organic, right? Because they don't grow it.
Is it like deer meat?
No, deer is a lot nicer. I've tried kangaroo once. I didn't like it.
It's legal to eat there?
Yeah, you can eat it, yeah.
Isn't it like a dog meat almost? Like
Yeah, but it's high in protein and it's tough.
How do you know that?
No, I'm just saying, like, don't you have a pet kangaroo?
No, of course.
Oh, I thought like everybody does.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jack, what's
he
up?
hangs out with a koala. Yeah, the pet kangaroo and the koala, they get on, you know?
No,
Sometimes
because
they
like
hug.
you know, I got. That's why I think of like, it's gross to even think about eating it.
Yeah, but
That's why I compare it to a dog.
Well, okay, would you eat a dog?
Nope.
No.
I wouldn't eat cat.
No, but there are nations
Rat.
that eat that. Well, okay, we eat beef. Okay, if you go to India, to eat a cow is sacred. You can't eat a cow. It's, you know.
I will say about Australians, though, you guys definitely market the kangaroo and koala to no end, though.
Yeah,
it's like when you think Australia, you think
And boomerangs.
You think
boomerangs.
you think 3 things. You think koalas, kangaroos, and Steve Irwin.
Yeah, Steve Irwin. Yeah,
So rest in peace to the legend.
Yeah, he was cool. But you know,
Did you meet him?
I've never met him.
He was cool.
He put Australia on the map.
He did, but it also ruined the rep. You know how many people go, fuck man, I'd love to come to Australia, but yeah, like the snakes and the spider, like we've got the deadliest. But man, you gotta go in the bush. We don't live in the bush, mate.
Yes.
We live in the
He's
city.
so right, because I was expecting when I went.
Yeah.
Me and my wife were like, all right, watch out for this. We went there. It's like, bro, it's like New York City.
It's like New York, man. Melbourne is like all of Brooklyn. There's
So wait,
heaps of
where are you
Brooklyn.
from?
So I grew up in Sydney, but I live in Melbourne now.
So explain it as if it was like a city in the States. What would you compare them to?
Okay, so Melbourne is pretty much all like Brooklyn. Like, you know how you got like a bit of industrial, but it's got a bit of a, like the city is beautiful, right? Because it's nice and old. But there's a lot of suburbs around Melbourne, which has got that sort of vibe like it is here. It's a real cool vibe, you know. There's a lot of that in Australia. Sydney is like a beautiful, gorgeous harbour. So
like Miami?
I've never been to Miami, I don't know. But
No way, really?
No, it's like, you know what Sydney's like? It's like being in the south of France or the Amalfi
Kind of like
Coast.
Boston,
like that.
bro. Kind of like Boston a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, what did you? Yeah, because you know better.
What would you say Cairns is like?
Cairns, fuck.
Florida or no?
Yeah, probably like a Florida. Well, I haven't been to Florida, but yeah, Cairns.
You never been to Florida?
No, Cairns is really far right up top. There's a lot of Italians in Cairns too.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
But my problem with Cairns is I feel like I was in the boondocks over there.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I went and they said, all right, no, we can't accept any credit cards. We have no signal. I'm like, what do you mean we have no signal?
That's an Italian trick.
So I was like, damn, I got to go and cash at the ATM now.
But Italians are the best. Italians are the best to come up with excuses. I went to pay with a credit card. The guy goes, no. I said, why not? He says, dopo delle 5. I said, so what that it's after 5? L'internet è chiuso here. You can't, there's no.
Perfect
Are you
reason.
for real, bro? L'internet è chiuso. They just have the. No one wants to. You know, this is why I think with the post office. Have you ever gone in the post office? Have you ever seen an Italian typing on a computer? It's like this.
Yeah.
Like, bro, hurry up. There's a line of people who need to send packages before we miss our boat trip to Capri. Understand?
When it comes to paperwork, Italian ranks last. Mate. I'm going to say it.
Mate.
From my experiences.
Anything
paperwork with Italians is the worst.
Oh, mate, it's the worst.
Like, I'm in the process of getting my dual citizenship, the worst.
Forget it, mate. Forget it. In Australia, for you to get a meeting with the consul,
that's what we're going through right now.
He goes, oh yeah, February next year. February next year, mate, because they're open 2 days a week for an hour each day. What do you expect, mate?
With 4 espresso breaks.
Yeah, right. And then the post office. Oh my God, you go to the post office. That's not my job. You've got to go to that guy. You know. Now I know the way it works.
Yeah, it's never that person's job.
No.
It's always he's in next week, Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know?
What about when they're serving somebody, they see you, they leave that person and they come and start telling you what to do with your... We had all these packages. We're in Taormina. We get there, I already know what to do because I've sent heaps of stuff from Italy before. So I go to the post office before to get the packs, to get them ready in the hotel. So when I go there the next day, they're all ready. Non ci abbiamo pacchi. What do you mean you got no packs? Non ci abbiamo pacchi. So what do you want me to do? That's an answer in Italy. That's a legitimate answer.
It is.
I said,
but I know exactly what they meant when you said that. Sorry.
And then I said, okay, well, I'm going to catch a plane tonight. How much do I have to leave to send this stuff back to Australia with my friend? How much money do I have to leave him, roughly? So I know. Well, what the hell? How much is
150 euros?
100, yeah, right.
And
one guy goes, "Questo ti costa un occhio." My eye. How much is my eye worth, mate? I don't know.
An eye is a lot.
An eye is a lot.
Yeah.
So he goes, "You don't have packs." I go, "Well, what do you want me to do?" He goes, "Go to the supermarket and go get their boxes. You know how they've taken all the stuff, put it on the shelf. Just use their boxes." All right, no worries. So we go to the supermarket. We get all these boxes. We pack everything in the hotel the night before. We drive to the now also.
So you got San Daniel prosciutto boxes.
No, yeah, right. The night before, I ask him, give me the forms, right? I said, I'm roughly going to have about 7-8 boxes. He goes, gives me 10 forms. I fill out every form for each box. I go there the next day. I take them all in there. Another guy looks and goes, no, questi, no, non si può mandare questi. I said, why not? Because it's got advertising, c'è la pubblicità.
Galbani.
But this is the best part. I go, but the guy that works here yesterday, he said, for me to go to the post office, to the supermarket. He goes, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Quello non... I said, il tuo collega ha detto per andare in... Ma lui non capisce niente.
You could have put like black tape over it. You know?
So then he goes, I said, well, I've packed them all. What do you want me to do? He goes, go to the butcher. Get the white paper, the white paper and wrap it around. Okay, so I go to the butcher's. I come back. I said, can I have some masking tape? He goes, does this look like the news agency to you? We don't have masking tape. I said, well, you're the post office.
Scotch.
No, so now I have to go, or the scotch tape. I have to go to the news agency, get the scotch tape, come back, wrap all the boxes with the white paper, write the address on there, okay? And I give him the forms. He goes, where's all the other forms? I said, well, your mate told me I've got to fit it. He gives me another 6 forms per box. There I am writing another 42 things to... Mate.
Is this a real story?
This is an absolutely real story.
Not fabricated
Not
one bit?
At all. Not one little bit was fabricated. And then 3 hours to send 7 boxes, which were already packed from the night before.
Did they make it?
Yes. They did, mate.
And ladies and gentlemen, La Bella Italia.
La Bella Italia, mate. And then the guy got the hide to tell me that, no, questi non succedono, questi cose. Yes, they do, mate. I could do half an hour show on all the experiences I had at the post office. Anyway.
What a nightmare.
But it's a beautiful place. You know what's great about Italy? in that tiny little country are probably the top 10 things in the whole world to see.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
You know, how amazing is that?
I want to touch back on
Australia.
the kangaroo stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
It's not done.
So we've confirmed that you don't eat kangaroo.
I'm going to send you some kangaroo meat.
No, don't do that. But what do you think
Yeah.
Australian Italians are known for as far as eating, life, and all that stuff? Like, I always say New York Italians were known pizza,
Yeah.
chicken parm. I asked this question to a recent guest, so
Yeah,
I'm curious to hear your answer of like, what's some cuisine that you'll see Australians?
Well, you know, that's an interesting question. We try and have authentic Italian. So we haven't Americanized Italian food, for example. You know, we've just
So like you guys eat chicken parm?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do eat chicken parm. But I think that we have adopted more your style here, right? So the big
Italian.
slice pizzas, yeah. But like, there's a lot of pizzerias, but the Napolitano style pizzerias,
Yeah.
they're massive in Australia. They're all over the place.
So
in Australia.
personal sizes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think we do delicatessens are more sort of refined a little bit. We do the paninis, but we don't do them as big as you guys do. I don't think that Italian Australians have really sort of made any food their own. We've just kind of tried to keep it more traditional, you know?
I didn't know if there was like a kangaroo parm or something.
I call it kangaroo.
That would've been fire.
There's pizza with kangaroo on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
it's the
cool.
ham and kangaroo.
Wait, that's real? For real?
Nah.
Oh, okay. I'm like being
Yo,
so
imagine
gullible,
like
yeah.
eating a kangaroo leg, how crazy that might look. Like,
My God.
You know, you-
So much kangaroo talk.
I know.
No, but I will say that Australia, I feel like the quality of their food is better than the quality. In
but
the
it's more
States.
Quality-
expensive, I heard.
It is expensive,
I
yeah.
don't know because I don't know the rate of the AUDs to USD.
Yeah, right. So basically, $1 American is 65 cents Australian.
Okay, yeah.
No,
Also-
sorry. What, $1 Australian
It's
dollar is 65 cents.
Because everything was cheaper when it was more technically, but it came
Yeah.
out to be like a cheap meal for me.
Yeah, well, if you got American dollars get you a lot further in Australia.
Right,
Do they
right.
take American dollars in Australia? No.
No, you have to get it transferred to Australian dollars or whatever. Yeah,
But now with credit card, I mean, if you get lucky and go to the place with credit cards,
yeah.
It's funny. I went to the casino in Cairns.
Yeah,
and
right.
I wound up winning 2,000 Australian dollars. But I'm like, what the hell do I do with this?
Yeah.
Like,
windows open.
I'm not going back. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And it's not strong enough where should even change it.
Yeah,
so.
but $2,000 is a decent amount of money. I mean, you could.
Yeah.
It's $2,000 is probably about 1,200. Well, I can tell you what it is. It's about $2,000 is about 1,200 US dollars.
Could do some damage to that.
You could do something with
You
that.
get a nice boomerang, a nice like alligator shoes.
Alligator
Alligator
shoes.
shoes, 'cause
See,
it's
that's-
Scapadels.
See, that's another thing. When you went to Cairns, so you've got all these beautiful beaches, right? And you
Bitches
go-
or beaches?
beaches where you swim.
I still. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The beautiful beaches are in Canada.
Okay. Facts. No. Yeah. So
I don't know. I heard.
I heard. I don't know.
No.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You go there, there's no one on the beach because you're not allowed to swim in the water because of crocodiles or stingrays or like little
So
jellies.
it is true then.
Well, in some parts, yeah. And then in some parts, you got to watch out for sharks. But hey, what do you expect?
I'm curious to know, like, how Italians said, "Let's go to Australia. It's 3 days away."
It's nice.
You know,
Yeah, well, you know.
like how that
Yes,
happened.
no.
Well, on the boat, it's like 30 days away, right?
Yeah, it was 30 days by
Yeah.
boat back in then.
Are you first generation?
Yeah. Well, my dad was born in Calabria. Obviously, his parents, all my nonni were born in Calabria, but my mum was born in Australia. So what does that one and a?
How did
You're
they
one
get-
and a half.
they
You're
took
one
the
and a half
plane?
generation.
They took
My
the
dad
plane?
took the plane. Yeah.
Your mom took the boat?
No, my mum was born in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Our parents, maybe.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Italians in Australia. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
So
want to know how they got there.
how they go? Well, a lot of them didn't know where they were going because when they were in the queue, sometimes they were in the queue to come to America. And they'd see a compari in the other queue. He goes, "Where are you going, Australia?" "Oh, I mean, you can put it here, I love Australia." and
this side.
This side. That's shit like that would happen, you know. It just depended.
That's crazy, man.
But you see how you said, oh, they came to Australia. Why would they go to Australia? I think the same thing when I think of Italians who went came here or to especially Canada, after the first winter, wouldn't you go, where the fuck do I come? Where am I?
That's true.
Because apparently the winters back in those days in the 50s when they came to Canada was really bad. Like there was a lot of snow. Apparently there's not as much snow as there was back then. I would have left. But, we've got a great climate. It's a great country. Like you said, the food's
is it
good.
true that like our seasons are opposite?
Yeah, opposite. Yeah. So right now it's winter. Right now it's really cold.
But
in
winter
Australia.
for you guys is like this?
Winter is about 2 degrees, 3 degrees Celsius.
Oh, so it's freezing. It's close to freezing.
It's cold, but it's not the...
It's like 40 degrees.
That's
pretty cold.
Because
That's pretty cold.
0 Celsius is freezing. So that's like 33 degrees or something?
32.
Or 31?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. No, but it's mild. It's not... Yeah, we can deal with it. But not like here, because here gets... How cold does it get here?
Pretty cold. But this last year has been okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Italians, the climate's kind of similar to the climate in
Well, that's
New
what
York.
I would have thought. Well, but in Italy, isn't it? It's not. It doesn't get that cold. Doesn't
I mean, if
snow.
you ask them, it's freezing. No.
Well, it depends on if they're in the mountains, right?
Yeah. That's where our
Doesn't
family
get
comes
cold.
from. So
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. You're high. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the Australian accent. It's iconic. And I actually want you to rate my Australian accent.
Okay.
From scale 1 to 10.
All right.
Hello, mate.
No, you sound
Hello,
British.
shrimp on the barbie.
You sound British.
Crikey.
Yeah.
No good?
Hey, you sound British.
Really?
Yeah. It sounds British. That's like...
So, all right. So, if you had to rate 1 to 10,
So
what
the
are you
way
giving me?
the way that you do the Australian accent,
Uh-huh.
right, is you talk. The sound has to come from just behind. So like an American accent comes from the back of the throat. An English accent comes from the front of the teeth. Right.
Where's
the
Australian from?
Australian comes from just behind the teeth. Australian.
behind the
Australia.
Just behind the teeth.
Just behind the teeth.
And you gotta like you don't like make the words too long. Just sort of make them short.
Make them short.
Yeah, that's a bit better.
A little better.
That's a little bit.
A little better, eh?
eh?
So, 1 to 10, what is it? My Australian accent.
3.
3?
Yeah.
Rock, all right, you try.
Hey, mate, I saw the kangaroos on the barbie the other day.
Mine's better. That's a 2.
That sounds like a Spanish guy trying to speak Italian.
All right, so now
The Barbie.
it's only right.
Yeah.
You gotta give us your New York accent.
Well, which part? Because
Brooklyn.
Well, anything, yeah.
Forget about it. That's what everyone says. Is that terrible?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay.
Not bad.
You really
not bad.
gotta-
But even we exaggerate that.
Yeah,
So
forget
we gotta
about
teach you. We
it.
gotta
Bro,
teach you
what
how
are you
to-
doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
In Australia, you guys give this when you say something? Yeah.
Make it fay. Make it fay.
Yeah. Salaminga, what you?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
But see, because you guys are in a country where Australia's only got 25 million people in the whole country. You got 20 million people in New York. Okay.
I mean, like 12.
Sorry.
No, not 20.
New York's like 12 million.
No, in
New York
Manhattan.
City. New York City.
New York City, yeah, right.
With the 5 boroughs.
Yeah, right. But there's a lot. That's a lot of people in a small amount of space.
Yeah.
So everyone's crowded. Everyone's fucking. There's a lot of competition. Everyone's hustling.
Yeah.
So you notice people will tell you to fuck off. You're not a problem. No problem at all. You know what I mean? So people are tougher here. People they've got that sort of an attitude about living life.
I don't remember if it was the last time we had you on the pod, which we had you
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
Way before we had the studio and all
Yeah.
that. So thank you for believing in us and trusting
mate.
us years ago.
It was great.
That means a lot
Yeah.
because now it's a little easier to get certain guests, but
Yeah.
you were willing back then. So thank you on behalf of us. But Calandra's Bakery, family owned since 1962. Luciana Calandra, Sicilian immigrant, started the bakery in 1962 in Newark, New Jersey, passing it on to his grandkids. The third generation, baking bread the old school way. Located in your nearest supermarket in New Jersey and New York. And don't forget to visit any of their 3 locations in New Jersey. I forgot if it was on the pod or when you did the live show,
Yeah.
but someone said, or maybe it was part of your skit,
Yeah.
that someone asked you, so would you rather be Italian or Australian?
Yeah. Right.
And you said Australian.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So what made that decision for me was when Italy was playing Australia
That's
in
what
the
you said.
World
Yes,
Cup in
yes.
2006, right? There was Italian kids who were born in Italy. There was kids in Australia who were born in Australia whose parents were born in Australia waving Italian flags, okay? Because one, you want to be associated with a winner. And Italy in soccer is a powerhouse, right? But the difference is...
I don't know about...
was a powerhouse.
Now they're like fucking shit.
On, yeah, I know. But over the years, they won four World Cups and so on. You know, but people... Like, these kids should be waving Australian flags. Why are they waving Italian flags? And then that night, when Italy was going to score against Australia, I went, oh, no. Just naturally, I went, oh, no. Like, don't score against Australia, you know? And that was the first time that I realised that I was more Australian. I'm an Italo-Australian. I'm not an Italian. Because when we go to Italy, we go, we're not exactly like these people either.
Yeah.
We're not. We're unique. We've been created by our parents who came here and our nonni, but through the life that we live here and the American life or the Aussie life or the Anglo-Saxon life. So we're unique. I don't feel Italian when I go to Italy. I feel Australian.
So, and that was in 2006.
Yeah.
And I remember the game you're talking about.
Yeah.
Italy drew a penalty, Fabio Grosso.
That's right.
And
yes.
Totti scored on a penalty.
Yes.
Now, could you explain like what happened after? Like, were there a lot of Italians celebrating in Australia?
Yes, there was. Yeah. Yeah.
And
because naturally
you felt pissed when that happened?
No. Then I thought, okay, well, all right. Well, Australia lost. Because Australia, they're lucky to even make the World Cup. Okay. So it was, but then at least the good thing I had a plan B, and Italy ended up winning.
Are they lucky though? Huh? I feel like it's so easy for those nations in that area to qualify. You know what I mean? Like you take 8 from Europe, 8 from Africa, but Australia, what the hell's there?
Is that really how it goes?
Yeah. From different parts of the world.
Yeah, right. I can't remember how they qualified, but they did. I don't know the process. I mean,
you're probably saying to get that far in the tournament.
Yeah, because Australian, soccer is I mean, it's a big sport, but it's,
you guys play more rugby, right?
Yeah, rugby, cricket is big. Wow. Cricket, I don't know, it's boring for me.
Cricket's like baseball, right?
Yeah, well, it goes as long as a baseball.
It could last it could go. It's like a never-ending game.
Sometimes for 3 days.
Are you serious?
Yeah, of course.
They don't stop?
No, well, they obviously they rest at night, and they get there the next day, and they.
And still 2-2.
Yeah, but that's it.
No, it's like 100 something.
How would you explain cricket to somebody who's never seen? I mean, I've never seen a game of cricket. I have no idea how it works.
Oh, mate. So there's a pitch in the middle. There's 2 guys with a bat, and they got
2 guys with a bat at one time.
Yeah. So there's one of them. One guy throws the ball, like say pitches the
Baseball,
ball,
yeah,
right, and he hits it, and then depending on how far the ball goes away, because they've got stumps behind them. There's 3 sort of.
It's like a strike zone. It's like a strike zone.
Yeah, it's like a strike. There's 3 bits of wood. So if the ball hits that bit of wood while you're trying to hit the ball, you're out. Or if you go past a certain point, past those, it's called the crease. If you're out of that crease and the ball hits those stumps, you're out. If you hit the ball and they catch it, you're out.
I feel like I'm actually more confused now than when I asked the question.
You know what? It's confusing.
It is. It sounds like it.
All I know is they score a lot.
Thank God we have baseball, though.
Yeah, well,
I mean, in that sense.
Yeah.
Rugby's another one I don't understand.
Yeah, right. But you see, this is a funny thing. You guys play your
football America.
Yeah, but with the helmets and the thing. Mate, these guys have got nothing, mate. Yeah. Have you seen the way that these guys tackle each other and throw themselves on the ground? Crazy. It's out of control. It's just very, very different.
I would say American football is way more entertaining than rugby.
Probably there's a bigger show about it, But there's a lot of stopping.
We got cheerleaders, too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. They're kind of banning them in Australia.
What?
Because of the whole, they don't want it's the sexualization of women and the...
Oh, really?
Yeah, that kind of thing.
I didn't even know that.
Where here it's a big deal, right?
I mean, here kind of too, though. I mean, everywhere in the world's changing.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about you're on world tour now. You said
142 dates around the world.
In 365 days, right?
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's almost like every other day you're performing.
Almost, yeah, almost, yeah. So it's a massive tour. It's my biggest tour ever since I started, and it goes through all of Australia.
What made you want to do this many shows?
Well, it's the demand from the audiences all over the world. Yeah. COVID was great for me because people went down rabbit holes that they've never been. Because normally people would be on their phone for 10 minutes, then they've got to go to have a shower and go to work. People were all at home. So they would be watching a comedian, and then that would suggest another comedian, which suggests another comedian, and people would go down rabbit holes. And so it's like I became famous again. It's really, really, like, you know, I've got my core audience, but all of a sudden then I blew out in India as well. So I got a huge following in India.
You have fans in India?
Fans in India. I went through all of England, Ireland, Scotland, Belgium, South Africa, New Zealand, and of course in America, it grew even bigger, and Canada grew even bigger as well. It was phenomenal. So it's just a demand. There's a lot of people. You know, I'm getting requests to go to Amsterdam, to Greece. You know, because it's just the type of comedy that it is that appeals to a mass group of people.
That's great.
Yeah, but I also get abuse. Well, I've been abused from Italians, which we've talked about.
Yeah.
I get abused by Sebastian Maniscalco fans because they never knew about me. Yeah. And they know about him. And they go like, oh, mate, you're just trying to be him. Well, I'm not trying to be him, mate. I've been doing this for a long time, you know. I mean, I love Sebastian's great.
What year did you start doing comedy?
I blew out in 2000.
Wow.
That's when I sort of blew
23
out.
years.
Yeah. I've been doing stand-up for 27 years, but I've been kind of famous for 20 years, you know. And there'd be people watching this going, I've never heard of you, mate.
Well, that means you're still growing.
That's a great thing because it's just growing. You know, and even in the States, it's growing into Rochester. I'm getting a lot of requests now from Detroit, Philadelphia, Atlantic City, Florida, Pittsburgh. I've never done. I'm doing it on for the first time. You know, and all the shows are growing. They're much bigger, and it's been great. And I owe it a lot to COVID and to Instagram.
How did you really start emerging in comedy? Were you playing a bunch of shows and then?
Yeah, so basically what happened was I started in Australia and then I recorded a CD. People started copying it on cassette, and then someone put it on Napster. Do you remember Napster?
Yeah.
And then that's what really launched me. But of course, Napster was only audio. It wasn't visual.
I think our friend Gennaro said that's how he found you.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah, on Napster. So Napster launched me into North America, England, and then I've sort of been touring ever since, but I've kind of been building it.
So it was like a live show.
It was a live, it was Nonnu's car accident.
Oh, okay.
Where my Nonnu had a smash with a Chinese guy, right? And he gets out, he goes, you know, I've got to go and find who this guy is, you know? And he goes, all right, give me your details, you know? And the Chinese guy goes, my Nonnu goes, what's your name? And he goes, Michun K, which sounds like Chinese, but I hurt myself. And my Nonnu's like, what do you mean you hurt yourself? You broke my neck. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? And that clip, which you probably couldn't even do now. You can't do those kind of gags.
Yeah.
You know, that went viral all over the world, right? And to the point where I would do the routine and the whole audience would, everywhere all over the world, would do it with me.
Well, let's say if I knew the routine and Rocco did it, and I go to show Rocco, he's about to do it.
Yeah.
You know, give him a heads up.
It was like that. It was insane. It was insane.
Do you still with a tour like this?
Yeah.
Do you have a specific set for every show, or do you curate for?
I change it up. So in North America, I do more of my Italian shows, because in Australia, I've got a lot of people who come to the shows who are not Italian, right? So I can't do all my typical
growing up stuff.
Yeah, I can do it, but I have to make it more English. Yeah. Whereas here, they love hearing the dialect. They love hearing the stuff in Italian. You know, and so I do it even more. Yeah, and it's great because I missed it. I missed doing it. So, you know, and like I said, and there's a lot of new people, and it's like I've become famous again. And so there's people, I've been doing routines that I've been doing for 15 years. People never heard of them. And because they're great routines to do live. You know, so you change it up but you know what also happening? People are becoming so sensitive. So I would do a whole tour in Australia. I landed in Vancouver. I started to do the same gags as I did in Australia, and people are like,
doesn't hit the same?
They're like, you can't say that. I said, yes, I can say that. And I just did. Right?
Are you trying to preserve comedy? You think comedy should be comedy and whatever?
Yeah, I think there should be no political correctness in comedy. Political correctness in comedy, as far as I'm concerned, is like having an occupational health and safety officer at an MMA fight.
Good point.
You need them there, though, right?
You know what I mean? Like, see, politicians can't be open about it because they're gonna, that won't get voted for, right? The media kind of have to dumb it down. It's our job to walk the fine line to say the stuff that everyone thinks, but no one has the guts to say. That's what a comedian's supposed to do. And some people have said, "Oh, have you toned it down because of political correctness?" No, I've gone the other way. And I'm not worried about being cancelled. 2 reasons. Anyone who would cancel me would have never bought a ticket to the show. And number 2, Italians, we started cancel culture. Remember, like if someone's son got married and you didn't get invited, that's it. When my son get invited, he's not coming. Mate,
no invite him ever again.
Never. Or put him near the toilet.
Or they check how much they left a boost.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
they didn't give enough. Don't invite him to the next one.
Yeah, because a lot of the Americani, when they go to the Italian weddings, they think, oh, easy. I just put money in the envelope. No. How much money you got to put in there is a complex mathematical equation, mate. Because first,
how do you go about that?
Well, firstly, you got to remember how much money they gave you when you got married. Then you got to add inflation, But then the big trick is you never seal the envelope in case the food's shit. You take out $50.
Let's say you start serving kangaroo, you take out $40.
I've got to go kangaroo. But if they serve kangaroo in an Italian wedding, people will just get up and leave.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken money out of our boost or no?
Well, no.
That means yes.
That means they're watching, and I don't want them to know.
Joe, I wanted to ask you, where's like one of your favorite cities to perform?
Well, the American audiences to me laughed so hard. So like a normal show where I'll be doing 90 minutes, in America goes for about an hour and 45 because the laughter is so big. Because it's kind of like, there are Italian comedians that talk about being Italian, but my show is so specific about being Italian. And when I start talking in Italian, no one does that. Yeah. Like they've never heard that before. So they laugh in a way because there's no better gag than an in-joke. Yeah. And my whole routine is an in-joke about Italian families. Yeah. But it's not just Italians. I mean, last night in New Jersey, we had Indians coming to the show. Yeah. And see, they go through the same thing. Because do you remember when we would go to visit, families, other families, right? The Italians we visit, and your mum gives you the warning, not to touch the biscuits, non toccare i biscotti, they'll kill you.
Non mangi niente, non bevi niente.
Non toccare niente, no. And I was doing that gag, and these Indians are laughing. They're laughing at, I said, do you guys do the visiti too? And they go, yes, we do. I was like, cool. I said, what did your mum say? Don't touch the papadum.
What's a papadum?
The papadum that they eat the Indians, the papadum.
It's like a biscuit for
them?
I thought it was like their butts or something. Like, don't touch their butts. Papadum.
You papadum, yeah. And they're laughing, mate, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing in their culture as well.
What about driving? Where's your favorite place to drive in the world?
I really enjoyed... I love driving in Napoli, actually.
Really?
Because I drive like that in Australia.
I hate driving in Napoli.
You know why I love Napoli? Because it's like everything just blends in like that. Like it just, everyone
It's like
just
the Wild
knows.
Wild West, you mean?
Yeah, and beeping and it's just...
Is there a lot of Vespas in Australia?
Nah, yeah, but not much. You know what's gone nuts in Australia? I don't know if you got them here, those scooters. People just going out on those electric scooters. You can just get a scooter.
We got everything here, yeah.
I saw a family of 4 on a scooter in Napoli.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was like the father driving, the mom, a son, and then like 2 sons in front.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of danger in that as well, but you really want to, I don't know. It's just the way you have to drive like that to get around, because if you don't move, I mean, people are going to come in and hit you, beeping at you, abusing you. You've just got to move. And that's what I like about driving in Napoli.
The toughest part about when I was in Australia was you guys driving the other side of the steering wheel. And
the other side of the car and on the other side of the road.
You guys in UK, right?
Yeah, like we're in the UK, yeah.
Why?
Because we're a Commonwealth country. We were colonised by England.
So what does that mean, though? Like... that you got to drive opposite?
Well, that's just the way. So we were founded by the British, right? So they came in, killed off the Aborigines, and then they took over.
Shout outs to England, though. They really conquered both sides of the world.
Mate, they conquered, yeah. Well, that's why cricket is big in India too, because cricket is an English. It started in England, right?
Wow, really?
So they colonized parts of India. That they've got a big following of cricket. If you're a cricket player in England, you are a god.
You know what I was thinking about recently? It's kind of crazy, and I was like, damn, I never thought about it like this. But so England conquered America, Australia, apparently India. I didn't know that.
Canada,
right?
Commonwealth, yeah.
Spain,
yeah.
All of South America, everybody speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Portugal,
yeah.
Everyone in Brazil speaks Portuguese.
Yeah.
What else? France,
Yeah.
like you have parts of these islands that speak Creole. That's a part of French. Italian's only Italy.
Yeah.
I thought about that recently. It's kind of crazy because the Roman Empire was so strong, but we really didn't like.
What you mean? Didn't conquer other?
I mean, like as far as people, other countries speaking Italian because of Italy. You know what I mean?
It wasn't in the more recent years. That's why, because all those other countries were more powerful in the
like 1700s, 1600s.
The Roman Empire was
Yeah.
way a little further than that.
But some countries don't like other people coming in, right? They're like, no, this is our, like Russia. They don't want people. This is our country. This is what we do. This is our culture. That is it. We don't want any shifting. We don't want to start seeing Chinese people. We don't want to see Muslim people coming in. We don't want none of that.
They scare me.
This is the way it is, and that is it.
I think it's safe to say I'll never visit Russia. Have you been?
No, I haven't. I wanted to go. I wanted to see parts of Russia, but obviously now is not the time to go, is it?
Yeah, no.
No.
Kind of risky now.
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Maybe
risky.
Moscow would be cool to see.
Moscow would be a beautiful. I've seen pictures, and a friend of mine's married to a Belarusian lady, and he's been, and he says he's a Sicilian guy. He's married to a Belarusian, and he said, it's unbelievable. It's beautiful. But it's a different way. He goes, it's a different way of life. Like his wife, when she first came to Australia, we crossed the road. We crossed the road anywhere, right? She's going, what are you guys doing? We're crossing the road. No. Because they only cross the road at the lights when it's green. They follow the rules.
Well, technically, over here, too, you're supposed
to. But nobody follows that. No one really cares.
Yeah,
but
jaywalking.
For her, us jaywalking was freaking her out. She freaked out at the fact that, because you got to follow the rules. They follow the rules. They don't talk out of line there. That's just the way it is.
That's another thing I want to mention. In Australia, usually I look left and right here.
Yeah.
And over there, I'm like, I had to look right then left.
And you know what? Some people have been killed because of that, right? And vice versa.
I almost got hit because I was.
Many
I
people.
can picture a lot of driving accidents too, because we automatically like.
Yeah, but you learn. So like when I was spending a lot of time in Canada, I just started driving, and I can just, you just adapt to it. The problem is, sometimes I'd spend 9 months of the year touring in Canada. I'd go back home and I'd be driving, and I go, "Heck, I'm on the wrong side of the road." I was actually driving on the wrong side of the road for about a kilometre, right? Because until you adjust back, but you get used to it.
Yeah, that would be definitely tough.
And of course you got to watch out, Sabino, on the roads for the kangaroos. Yeah.
Kangaroo song.
Actually, you know what? You do. Okay, when you're driving not in the city, but in the country, they've got rules. They know, like because I do a lot of shows out in the country towns, and they'll say, if you see a kangaroo, be careful, just hit it. Don't, because the problem is it causes a lot of deaths because you just naturally swerve to miss the kangaroo, and you go off the road.
If you see a kangaroo,
hit it.
You know what to do.
Yeah.
That's fine. That could be your next T-shirt. I don't even want it there.
You see a kangaroo. What's funny?
If you see a kangaroo, you know what to do.
Yeah.
How many how many types of kangaroo you think are there?
One.
I don't know.
I don't even know. I don't know.
I'm Italian Australian, mate.
Joe Avati talks world tour kangaroos.
Yeah. There's
at
about
least
kangaroos.
like 7 different types of kangaroo.
Is there?
Know that.
Yeah. I don't even know.
What's the small one? Wallaby?
Oh, the Joey. Joey, the
Joey,
one. That's a little baby one. Oh, righty. Okay.
There's like wallabies, which are smaller kangaroos.
Yeah,
and there's the regular grey kangaroo.
Yeah. There are things in Australia you don't see anywhere else in the world.
And there's the red kangaroo. You got to watch out for that one.
Yeah.
And then there's a bigger one.
Do you think we could get some kangaroos here?
There's probably some at the zoo. I know in
You think
Toronto.
so?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if I've ever seen any kangaroos.
Yeah.
Zoo, baby.
Yeah?
Bronx Zoo.
The Bronx
The
Zoo.
koalas are there.
Yes, they got koalas, yeah. And koalas, don't think that they're nice. Don't, you know, people
They're
are
feisty?
Mate, if they scratch you, you're going, because their claws come out and they'll scratch.
Is that like their version of raccoon? I always got to compare something to something. Like Melbourne, Sydney, I go New York, Miami. Kangaroo, deer. You know, koala,
yeah, right.
raccoon.
So you got to watch out for deer right on the road.
Something.
Yeah.
What's the cute one? The very cute. Looks like a koala, but it's not.
Possum?
No.
That's definitely not cute.
I don't know. It was like a cute one. I don't know.
I don't know.
Quail? Something with a Q.
Oh, quokka.
Quokka, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, they're only over in
That's
Western
fire.
Australia. Quokka. People kick them. They play
kick
soccer
them?
with them, yeah.
No, really?
Yeah, the poor little things. Because actually, when you go to visit where they live, it says, there are signs that go, do not kick the quokkas. Do not kick the quokka. Like,
Why
we
do people
really...
do that?
Because people are dickheads.
Who the hell kicks a quokka, man?
Yeah.
Or they just roam around and they kick them?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's stupid.
They're so cute, though.
Yeah, they're cute. Yeah. But we got, poisonous snakes. We got poisonous spiders. You've just got to stay away from them.
I just feel so much more intimidated with his accent. Like, we got snakes and
Spiders.
spiders.
In America, we tip cows over.
Not us, though.
Not us in New York, but down south.
Drunk kids in
You never heard of
Arkansas.
cow
Yeah,
tipping?
right.
Explain to him, though.
Cow tipping, I would assume it's the same activity as kicking the quackers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
You get drunk and you go to a farm, you show up and you tip over some sleeping cows.
And people get kicked and complain. Like,
Mate.
the cow kicked
Mate, you
me.
live in New York. There's so much to do. Why am I going to go and push over a cow? You know what I mean?
There's nothing like it, man. Nah, I've never done it. I don't know.
I don't think
Go
you
and watch a
could do-
Broadway show.
I don't think you could do this in New York City.
No.
I think it's something, you go
You got to do
upstate,
it upstate. Yeah, yeah.
That's where people want to be experimental, with animals.
Yeah. But it's such a great city, New York. I mean, it's famous for being, it's the most famous city in the world, you got to say. You know what I mean? Like, there's only a handful of cities, like the London and the Paris, and Rome. And
What's your
New
top
York.
5 cities in the world?
Oh, definitely New York, London.
Number 1?
I personally like Paris. I like the center of Paris. I think it's just the reason why I like Paris is because once upon a time they knocked it all down and they started again, and everything is just so beautiful and old everywhere. Like it's like a picture. It's like a painting that you couldn't. It's amazing. So I love it for that. I love when you come. Every time I come here, every time I land here, and I've been coming here for 20 years, it just gets exciting. What am I going to discover? Also, the other reason why it's exciting is because people just do whatever the fuck they want here, mate.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so that's just going to create, like, you're going to see, like, back in Australia, if you saw some guy walking with purple hair, massive earring in his nose or shorts and whatever, you see these characters, people go, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
But here,
it's normal.
It's normal. No one even blinks.
All right, so we got Paris, New York.
London is great. I love Sydney. Sydney's a great city. Sydney's a great city because you can eat great food and have stay on the beaches, and they're fantastic all near the city. It's a great city. Istanbul is a fantastic city. I like Turkey. Yeah.
No, Italy.
Oh, Rome is probably, an amazing place. But it's Italy, mate. How do you decide in Italy? It's got, the Amalfi Coast is so gorgeous. Yeah. Lake Como is amazing. Cinque Terre, Positano, mate. It's just...
So you got a bunch of dates on this world tour.
Yeah.
If you had to give yourself a 60-second ad of why someone should see Joe Avati if you're in their city,
yeah,
what would it be? Give me your 60 seconds.
So the show is going to take you back to your childhood. It's going to teach your kids what it was like to grow up when you were their age, and it's going to tell the nonni.
You were older when you were their age, right?
Yeah,
that's what your merchandise does.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when I was your age, I was older than you, right? And it's going to teach the nonni how much they've changed since they've become nonni when the kids, because it's just a lot of people just say you took me back to my childhood. Right, and so people love it for that, and it's also clean. So you can bring the kids to the show, you can bring nonna, you can bring everyone. There's no swearing. It's just a clean. It's
for everybody.
Yeah, it's like Bill Cosby but without the Rohypnol.
Yeah. Without the Quaaludes.
Without the Quaaludes.
You know, I was gonna. I want to touch.
Well, I just did.
Yeah, no, why? Well, no, who cares? What I was gonna say was, we actually did a show with you where we hosted, and I remember vividly. We had a couple openers for you, and you said something like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go on for an hour and 20 minutes."
Yeah,
we just all looked like, "This guy out of his mind? Like an hour and 20 minutes?"
Yeah.
But you put on a hell of a show.
Thank you, man.
Like
you did.
Everybody, like we brought all our family, and everybody said, like, "Man, what a great show!" You know, like
thank you.
Especially like when the punchlines are in Italian, and you really like.
I think I ended up doing 2 hours that night or close.
Yeah, you went way longer.
Yeah.
You went way longer.
Yeah,
it was an hour. Oh, that's what it was. 120 minutes.
Yeah,
not an hour 20.
It was 120-minute show.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was incredible, man.
Yeah, I kind of cut it back a little bit because people started getting tired because there's big laughs in the show. So like, sometimes you go see a comedian and there's like 7 or 8 minutes of no laughter.
Yeah,
I would be freaking out. So if something doesn't work, it's out.
Yeah.
It's chopped out of the show.
Have you ever bombed on stage?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you give us a story?
At first, when you first start, you bomb. Okay, when you're first starting out, because you're just trialing out, all that kind of stuff. I got booked to do this corporate show for these old Australians who were in the Navy, old like veterans of the Army, and I don't know why they booked me for this gig, because all these people, they're old veteran Aussies. They're looking at me going, "You're the enemy, pal." Right? Who is this WAP guy?
Why would they say enemy? Because you're a foreigner?
Because we're a foreigner. Because I look the way I look.
Wow.
You know, and they're white. You know, they're Anglo-Saxon white people that don't like people who look like me. Right? The racist thing. You know, they're like, and they're just looking at me, not laughing. Now, you guys have seen my show. The bits are funny.
Yeah.
But you need to be in the right environment. And I just said, "Hey, you guys you're not getting this, are you?" They go, "No, get off." This was like 2 years ago.
You still got your money?
Yeah.
Who cares?
You know, but
man, what a night! How many people was this?
there was a corporate. It was a corporate show. It was probably 150 people. You know,
so you just walked off?
Yeah, I said, "See us." Yeah. So you're not.
How long were you going on? And
I was supposed to do half an hour. I probably did about 15 minutes or something. I go, "This is just not working." Yeah. Like nothing was landing, and you know that seems like forever. 15 minutes seems like 2 hours when that's happening. You know, but you generally I mean, generally people come to see your show. You don't bomb. You know, people. Right. You know, but yeah, you got to be careful.
I heard it always happens once to somebody.
Yeah, well, you learn. You go. So now I know if I've got to do, a corporate show, you just know you've got to ask all the questions. But even if sometimes I did one where they said, they want you to do this show. The first thing you ask is how many people. Oh no, they had 800 people. No, too many people. You can't control 800 people who are eating and drinking, who don't even care who's there. They just want to be socialising. I said, nah, not interested. The guy goes, no, the guy wants you. Name your price.
So not every money's good.
Yeah, every money's good. Okay? So I asked for 4 times the money that I normally ask for. Yep, not a problem. Flights, accommodation, everything. I get there wasn't 700 people, there were 1,200 people. They were all bus drivers, okay? And so the guy got me because a lot of the bus drivers were ethnic immigrants. So he thought, oh yeah, they're gonna love this guy. So I get there and they had all these different types of entertainment on. It was just a disaster. I'm thinking, oh geez, and then I come on, they're drunk. I come on, nobody is laughing, right? Nobody, and the owners are looking at me going, mate, we've just paid you an absolute fortune, and nobody is laughing. I don't know, someone was looking out for me. 12 minutes into the show, the fire alarm goes off.
Wow. Do you have like an emergency code for someone to pull the fire alarm?
No, but I do. But I do now.
Yeah.
The fire alarm went off. Everyone had to evacuate. End of night. Thank you very much. See you later.
Buonanotte.
Buonanotte.
Grazie per il business.
Yeah.
Joe, before you go,
you
got to give us an exclusive joke.
An exclusive joke. Oh yeah. Okay, I will. Okay. So this is actually a good one because this is a Sopranos gag. Okay. Well, it's not a gag. This is a true story. In Australia, this lady goes to me, I was watching The Sopranos last night, and Tony Soprano mentioned your name. I said, what do you mean he mentioned my name? He goes, he went to see his mum in the nursing home, because apparently there's a scene where the mum was in the nursing home, right? And and he goes in there, and he said something to the mum, and she goes, I'm sick of these Joe Avati jokes. I go, are you for real? Because obviously, if Tony Soprano or if the Sopranos have written me into the script, this is big news. Yeah. This is like, you go to the media with this is a big story. I go, you're pulling my leg. She goes, no, I swear to God. Here, go and watch it. So she goes, there's 2 episodes on this disc. It's the second episode when Tony Soprano is going to visit his mum in the nursing home. So sure enough, I play it in the nursing home, and she goes, sick of these Joe Avati jokes. Sick of these Joe Avati jokes. I'm going, this is for real. And then I'm going, this is impossible. This is not possible. And I'm listening. I replayed it. I listened to it again. I closed my eyes. And what she said, she didn't say, I'm sick of these Joe Avati jokes. She goes, I'm sick of this jar of artichokes. And this lady thought that she said, I'm sick of these Joe Avati jokes, but it sounds like a jar of artichokes.
Close enough.
It's close enough.
You should market that.
Honestly. I did. Oh, yeah, of course I did. We should try and find that clip and put it in there. I don't know which episode it was. I know the lady. I could ask her. I'm thinking...
YouTube.
I thought like I had publicists ready to go. Let me just, let me confirm this. Let me 100% it's in it. Nah, a jar of artichokes sounds like a Joe of artichokes.
That's classic.
Oh, how you doing? All right, Joe. Overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated? Kangaroos. Let's make Sabino happy here.
Kangaroo song.
They're overrated, mate.
What?
Yes.
Bro, that's overrated. The hottest take in grown-up Italian history.
They're everywhere. They're pests. They're annoying. They get in the road of when you're driving. Yeah, overrated.
Man, you're so unappreciative for that.
And they will kill you, mate. You know what? Right. If you take on a kangaroo, right? What it does, its tail, right? It stands on its tail, and it'll jump up and just claw you and
they know how to box, right?
Yeah, they know how to box. Yeah. Or if they whip you with that tail will slit your throat, mate. It is like rubber. It's so tough. It's all protein. It's all sinew. That thing will knock you out. The tail, yeah.
Next one up, koalas.
Oh, cuddly. Yeah, they're underrated. Yeah, they're cuddly.
Do you have a koala?
I had a toy koala.
Yeah.
That I used to cuddle.
Yeah? Yeah. Because you said cuddly. I was like, that's nice.
Yeah, they are cuddly. But they'll scratch you too.
I feel like we see like the little kid version of you right now. Yeah. I had a cuddly one. All right, last but not least, crocodiles. Crocky, Mike.
Mate, if you see a crocodile, they're perfect. They're perfectly rated. Just stay out of its way. Nice. Don't want to go anywhere near it. It'll snap you. You know what crocodiles do? They hunt you. So you might be there was a cray fisherman. You know what crayfish are? Like a lobster, like a thing. And he put his net. Or they got like a cage where they catch them. So he was there for 3 days catching crayfish. He got into the car. He goes, oh, that's right. I forgot one of my cages. He went back to get his cage, and that's when the croc got him, because he'd been hunting him, and he saw that every day he came back to the same spot, and he waited and he waited.
Who told you that story?
In Cairns. It happened in Cairns. A guy in Cairns told me.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Since Rock covered the whole animal aspect, I'm gonna do just random things that I want to know if they're overrated, underrated, or perfectly rated.
Yeah.
Vegemite.
Underrated.
Really?
I love Vegemite.
I mean, I've tried like one. It's literally dirt. It's literally dirt.
It looks like dirt. You know what? I like playing tricks on people when they come to Australia. And they go, what's his Vegemite? I said, well, it's like an Australian Nutella.
And
then they put it on their bread, and it is bitter. And
what is it actually made with?
What it actually is made with is so when you're making beer, you've got the yeast that settles in the fermentation process, and they get that yeast. They make it food grade. They obviously add the color, and that ends up being Vegemite.
Sounds so appetizing.
Yeah, but it's you put it on bread with butter. It's the best.
Okay, next one, rugby.
Rugby is tough, mate. It's underrated because you guys have got the football, but everyone puts their helmets and the shoulder pads. There is no shoulder pads. There is no protection. They just knock each other out. It's the tough sport. That's why Aussies are tough.
All they do is throw laterals.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah, laterals. Is that what you call them? Laterals, yeah. My nonno used to make fun of it because I don't understand that they throw the ball back to go forward.
Seems about right. Okay, the last one.
Yeah.
The Australian accent.
That is perfectly rated, mate.
It is. I would say too. It is.
Mate, let me tell you, you have an Australian accent in North America, chicks love it, mate.
Yeah?
They just, I don't know what it is.
It's a good conversation starter.
It is just, now we'd go to bars and yell out, like we'd order drinks but really loud.
3 Fosters!
Yeah. Can I have a double vodka on the rocks? Hi, sweetheart. Once I asked this girl in Canada, I said, excuse me, sweetheart, can you tell me the time? She dropped when she goes, oh my, can you say that again? I don't know, can I have the time? What's the time? She goes, no, say sweetheart again. I went, sweetheart? Oh my God. They just love I don't know what it is. And we're like, hanging, it's a twang for us. Like, how can they possibly love it? But you know what? Canadians, when they hear our accent, they know straight away you're Australian. Americans don't.
Yeah, they think
Like, are
you're
you
British.
from New Zealand? Are you from England? Where are you from? They don't know as well, but they still like it.
Yeah, I really can't tell the difference too much.
But I got told off once from an Italian American because you're not Italian. You don't have an American accent. What do I mean? The real Italian, he talk like this. When the Italian are from Italy, they come here and they learn English. At the end of every sentence,
They go like that. And then they make fun of the way we talk.
Yeah. And
But they talk like this.
Yes. And we come to this country and it's not like Italy. Scusa.
You know what I noticed too about Australians is they actually speak Italian in an Australian accent too. You ever see that? Yeah,
I don't know.
No, lo sai. I can't do it, but
yeah.
when Australians go to Italy, where we're from, the town,
Yeah.
they like speak Italian like an Australian accent.
Yeah, you know what? I've got to agree with you.
Well, speak it like say, "Ciao, come stai?"
Ciao, llamo, come stai?
See, that's an
oggi.
Australian Italian
It's like
accent.
the pitch. I think it's the pitch.
If-
Yeah,
Facito
that's the
oggi.
pitch.
Yeah.
Joe, thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, if you see him in your city, make sure to purchase his ticket. If you don't see him in your city, follow him on social media.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for coming on the show
And,
again.
mate, and
Appreciate
I've got to say, huge congratulations to you guys. I love watching your podcast. I learned so much because you got some really interesting guests on, and I love the clashes that they have and the ideas that they bring. And mate, we started across the road there in that thing in 2009, and look how far you guys have come.
4 years
you know,
later.
and I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank
and
you, bro.
congratulations,
Appreciate
and keep doing
Real
it.
quick, who's your favorite guest that you've seen on our show before we go?
Mario Bosco.
Oh, yeah. Mario actually wanted to crash this episode, but we said, no, not today.
Chaz Palminteri was good too. He was,
yeah?
That was a good episode.
And it literally couldn't be more perfect time because John just showed up.
All right.
All right.
Johnny
Thank
Bo.
you all for tuning in. See you all soon.
Cheers.